Welcome back to my channel English Desk. Today my topic of discussion is one word substitution. But before I start the proceedings, one thing I want to make sure to my viewers, that practice is the main mantra to crack any exams, any competitive exams. And there is no denying the fact that practice makes a man perfect. And there is no exception to one word substitution. And I guide the students in such a way that they should memorize these words so that they can take the correct answer in the ensuing exams. Hope you do it perfectly and achieve success. And one thing before I start again, I want to tell that every new viewers to subscribe my channel and press the bell icon to get more relevant and pertinent videos of importance, particularly for the competitive exams. And for the existing viewers, I express my gratitude and special thanks for supporting me. Now I go straight to my topic. In the first question, we have the final part of a speech. Final part of a speech means to say epilogue. Epilogue is the final part of a speech. In this respect, we should also note the word prologue, which means to say the first part of a speech. So epilogue and prologue are antonyms. So one sentence in this regard should be remembered. For instance, his epilogue is really touching or heartening. So the word epilogue is automatically memorized. Next we have the practice of copying the work of another author and representing them as one's own. It's a very important one-word substitutional question, which means to say plagiarism. In this respect, we should note and remember a sentence. Plagiarism is an offensive act. Here, plagiarism should be remembered in this sentence. Next word, connoisseur. Connoisseur is another example of a supreme example of one word substitution, which means to say an expert judge. Take for example, he is a connoisseur of music. He is a connoisseur of music. This sentence should be remembered, and thereby the word connoisseur should be automatically in your memory. We come to the next question, virtuoso. Virtuoso means to say brilliant performer on stage. Brilliant performer on stage. In a word, in a simple word or a one word, it can be termed virtuoso. Take for example, Lataji is a virtuoso. This sentence should be remembered and automatically the word. Next, we come to the fifth question, philogynist. Philogynist means to say a person who likes and admires woman. A person who likes and admires a woman is called philogynist. Take for example, Lord Krishna can be called a philogynist. This should be carefully noted, and the word philogynist would be automatically. We come to the next question, euxocrious. Euxocrious, which means to say extremely fond of one's wife. Extremely fond of one's wife means to say uxorious. Take for example, uxorious persons can lose his authority. Uxorious persons can lose his authority. This sentence should be remembered. Next we come to the seventh question, Cosmopolitan. Cosmopolitan is a one word which means to say a person who regards the whole world as his country. A person who regards the whole world as his country is called cosmopolitan. Take for example, Rabindranath had a cosmopolitan outlook. Here cosmopolitan word should be automatically memorized. We come to the 8th question. A speech or a presentation made without previous preparation. A speech or a presentation made without previous preparation is called, in one word, extempore. Extempore means to say a speech or presentation made without previous preparation. Take for example, Amitabh Bachchan gave some extempore dialogue in many of his movies. This extempore word should be automatically. We come to the 9th question. A contagious disease which spreads rapidly and widely. A contagious disease which spreads rapidly and widely is called, in one word, epidemic. Epidemic is the word which means to say a contagious disease which spreads rapidly and widely. Take for example, viral fever is an epidemic disease. This sentence should be memorized and the word epidemic will be automatically memorized. We come to the last question of the first set. A person who knows everything. A person who knows everything. And that is omnipresent. Omnipresent means to say a person who knows everything. Actually, omnipresent means God who knows everything. Then take for example, I pray to my omnipresent. This sentence should be remembered and the omnipresent word will be automatically memorized. We come to the first question of the second set. A person who speaks several languages fluently. And that person is called polyglot. Take for example, polyglot can be needed to interact with foreigners. If we memorize and remember this sentence, we can easily memorize the word polyglot. Next word, mercenary. Mercenary is a person who primarily concerned with making money at the expense of ethics. Mercenary is the person who primarily concerned with making money at the expense of ethics. Take for example, he is nothing but a mercenary. He is nothing but a mercenary. This sentence should be memorized and the word mercenary should be automatically stored in your memory. Next we come to the third question. An order prohibiting ships to leave the ports. An order prohibiting ships to leave the ports. And it is called embargo. Embargo means to say an order prohibiting ships to leave the ports. Take for example, government ordered an embargo for the emergency. This sentence should be kept in mind and the word embargo will automatically stored in your memory. Next we come to the word arbitrator. Who is called arbitrator? A person appointed by two parties to solve a dispute. Arbitrator is a person appointed by two parties to solve a dispute. Take for example, an arbitrator should finalize the dispute. An arbitrator should finalize a dispute. This sentence should be remembered. Next we come to the fifth question. A decision upon which one cannot go back. A decision upon which one cannot go back means to say irrevocable. Irrevocable means to say one cannot go back. A decision upon which one cannot go back means to say irrevocable. A decision upon which one cannot go back means to say irrevocable. A decision upon which one cannot go back means to say irrevocable. A decision upon which one cannot go back means to say irrevocable. Next we come to the sixth question. irrevocable. Irrevocable means to say a decision upon which one cannot go back. Take for example, government used or issued an irrevocable decision. This sentence should be. Next, a group of people assembled for religious worship. A group of people when assembled for religious worship is called, in one word, congregation. Congregation is the word which means to say a group of people assembled for religious worship. Take for example, every weekend people have a congregation. This sentence should be the motive to memorize this word. My next word is amateur. Who is amateur? One who does a thing for pleasure and not as profession. We know the word professional. The antonym of professional is amateur. Take for example, he is an amateur singer. He is an amateur dancer, etc. These sentences should be the motive to remember this word. Now I come to the 8th question of this set. A person who does not believe in the existence of God. A person who does not believe in the existence of God is called an atheist. It's a very important word, atheist. Atheist is a person who does not believe in the existence of God. Take for example, an atheist cannot be preached. An atheist cannot be preached. This sentence should be enough to keep the word in your memory. We come to the penultimate question of this episode, hypochondriac. Hypochondriac is a very critical term, which means to say a patient with imaginary symptoms and ailments. A person or a patient with imaginary symptoms and ailment. Take for example, a hypochondriac cannot be treated easily. A hypochondriac cannot be treated easily. This sentence is enough to memorize the word hypochondriac. I come to the last question of this episode, narcissist. Narcissist means to say someone in love with himself. The person who loves himself is called narcissist. Take for example, narcissist cannot contribute to the society. Narcissist cannot contribute to the society. This example should be remembered to memorize the word narcissist. With this, I come to the end of this episode. Hope this will be helpful for you in the ensuing exams. And thanks for watching the video and being with me. Thank you.